Namaskar everyone, it's Sunday. The week has 7 days, but Sunday for me is a different kind of energy. So I'm always happy to be here, to chant, to meditate, and to offer some guidance, some wisdom. As I've been enjoying my meditation, I'm thinking, what a joy it is to manage a human experience. What a joy. I remember in 2015 when my body had this deadly bacteria that I caught in India, and I had to have surgery because nothing else would help. And you know, post-surgery, how that is. I couldn't manage the body like I wanted to. Even during 2015, because I couldn't reach Trinidad quickly. So I took a couple of weeks with this disease inside of me, this bacteria inside of me before I arrived home. As the divine would have it, only when I arrived that I began to lose consciousness. But I carried the disease for 2 weeks. Deadly. So post-surgery, I couldn't do the exercises that I used to do. I couldn't do the practices of the root, and I couldn't do the practices of the body because I had this tube in me, draining. It took me quite a while to get back hold of my body. But today, no, I'm going to hold this body and stay with it, not allow it ever to get into that situation. Because in India I was so lax. I drank water from the river. I just ate whatever I was given. I didn't take any supplements. I never do that. But I thought, okay, let me live like a sadhu. Just a wandering monk. And I paid dearly for it. Because just being without that management of the human experience makes me feel powerless. In fact, that's why I went to India when I was 21. Because I wanted to manage the mental experience, and I wanted to manage ignorance. I wanted to know who I am. My strong desire is to use every tool that I have to stay on top of the human experience. And this body is aging, right? This is an animal body. This is not me. I carry this body in me. We carry these bodies in us. It's an aging body, so much more reason for me holding it together and to allowing that divine energy to shine in and through it. But it's a marvelous experience how to do that. First, managing the thoughts in the mind, managing the brain in this human body. This brain, of course, is very complex. We don't even fully understand it. We think we do, but there are spiritual centers in the brain, subtle energy centers that medical science doesn't know. But you have the capacity for opening up the full use of the brain. That is what 1978 gave to me, complete opening up of the brain. So it brings a different kind of awareness to you, and it brings a different kind of brain relationship with your soul being. But I celebrate that I have this wisdom to manage the human experience, to manage the brain, the cranial brain, because we have triune brain, the heart brain and the gut brain. These are all brains as well, if we really understand them. And we can operate using them. When your spiritual centers are open, when your subtle anatomy becomes active, consciously active, that you are able to manage it, It's amazing what you can do. You can charge up every cell in your body. You can bring healing to every part of your body. You can transform the vitality of your body. You can transform the mind and the brain. You can transform the mind and the brain. Wouldn't you want this kind of power? And why? Do you see how restless the mind can be when you're worried? And when the mind is restless and worrisome, it affects every part of your physical being because your subtle anatomy is wired to the body. Every habit is programmed in the body's brain and neurosystem. Every habit you create, every thought that you create, the energy of a thought, is giving the whole system an experience. That the body remembers, and your soul remembers too. But how do you manage this? The fears that are in the mind, the uncontrolled thoughts that undermine your consciousness, your mind. The physical challenges that you may have. How do you manage that? When you cannot manage the energies of the feet or the hands or the torso, when you cannot manage this experience, how do you feel? Do you feel happy? Do you feel free? Do you feel uplifted? Or do you feel miserable, powerless, hopeless sometimes? My heart goes out to those people who feel powerless because I did at one time. In 2015, I did. I lost the power to manage the whole human experience. But today, I'm determined to stay on top of the human experience. That's why I sit here. That's why I meditate. That's why I manage the mind. That's why I put a mantra in the mind. That's why I manage the breath. And that's why I've learned everything about the subtle anatomy. And not only that, every day I learn more about the human anatomy that I didn't know. And to see the beautiful connection between the subtle anatomy and the human anatomy. How can we have bodies and we don't even study them? We leave it for the doctors. We don't even appreciate or understand the body. Why? Why? It's your body. Know your body. Understand your body. And understand the subtle anatomy that I teach. Because if you do, you will learn how to manage this human experience marvelously. Do you want to live in fear continuously? Do you want to live out of control of this human experience? Do you want to? No, you shouldn't. Every day you should try to improve your knowledge of your physical body, your subtle anatomy. You should. If you want to have a complete education, that's what you need to do. Be educated about how the body works. Be educated about how the subtle anatomy works. Be educated about how the mind and intelligence works. How the different brains work. And don't stay only with the academic sciences. You want the metaphysical sciences as well. You want to learn about the inner world from the mystics. So it's extremely important that you follow the things that I did with you this morning in the meditation. Try to bring you into a practice that can really help you to protect your mind. Keeping a mantra in the mind can be such a beautiful thing when you're outside. When you are on the streets, when you're in the malls, when you're in the traffic, when you're in the bus or the car. Keeping a mantra in the mind vibrating. And there'll come a time when you don't have to say it so much. It will just vibrate in the mind automatically. We call that a japa japa. When japa doesn't become a japa anymore. It's called a japa japa. Because the mantra is going on inside of you, but through the force of habit. And every now and then, doesn't matter what you're doing, just take a moment to bring more oxygen to the body and breathe out excess carbon dioxide. Take a moment, because you wouldn't even realize it, how you're using less oxygen and how the body is suffering as a result. There is such joy to living the human experience, to managing the human experience. And I'm going to stay with you with these teachings, with these practices, until you can catch it. I love doing that. What is the use of having this knowledge and I cannot share it with people? I long for you to understand. I long for you to catch it. I long for you to be inspired by me. For years I've been doing this work. I give up my secular work to do this. And I've built this as a training camp, as a training place. And I'm going to build something even bigger. That those people who are ready and receptive can have a place of their choice. We need to go back to fundamental principles of education, of well-being, of leadership, of environmental awareness and practices. We need to go back to the fundamentals. Now, we don't want to go back to crude life because we have so much technology. We want to go to a whole new level. Ancient cultures did it. Egyptian remains still there. And from the older cultures, a little bit of remains are still there. So we know that there were cultures that mastered these arts. But as life would have it, the cyclic nature of life, they can only last for so long. But I want you to be inspired to take charge of your well-being, take charge of your mind, know yourself more, because the human experience is worth living. So long as you are trapped in this human body for a lifetime, it's worth living. It's worth getting the best out of the experience. You don't need to deny the senses. No, spiritualize them. Spiritualize them. Life is to be enjoyed, but with wisdom. With wisdom. So with this, I want to wish you a happy Sunday. Have a blessed day, everyone. Always a joy being with you. And I'm even more happy when you catch what I'm saying and you begin to live it. Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar.